What is going on? Welcome to the Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you are, I'm grateful that you're here. Always grateful you're spending your valuable seconds with me. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about positive priming. And priming, what this is it's the ability to use one. Think about it like dominoes. It's the ability to use one association to impact other associations in your life. And so positive priming is when you can, think positive thoughts or surround yourself with positive stimuli so that you can further impact other parts of your life. And when this becomes really important, I think about teenagers and going in and helping teenagers speaking in schools, or whether you are an adult or you are going to work every day, and you might find yourself in a little bit of a place where you're having some negative thoughts or some negative challenges, some negative trials. So positive priming is the way that you can frame your day, start to frame your life that will almost create that domino effect so that you can have a good positive day as you go along. So there was a study done a while back where there was two groups of students, about 18 to 22-year-olds or so, but they were put into separate rooms, and each of them was given a set of 5 words and asked to form a sentence with these 5 words. So the first words were random, like finds, it, he, yellow, instantly, seemingly random words that, anyway, they're asked to make a sentence of it. The second group was given words that the words were Florida, forgetful, bald, gray, wrinkle. These are all words that, and they never said that they are associated with being old. However, they're words that are associated with being old. And so they were asked to kind of create these sentences with these words. And then they were sent down the hall to another room to finish some other task. But the rest of the study wasn't in the other room. The rest of the study was the walk to the other room. And what this study found was the two groups of people, the ones who made sentences with words that were associated with old, walked slower down the hall to the other room. And I want you to think how crazy that is, because again, they were not given, they were not told that this was associated with old. They were never told the word old. It was just that the brain naturally associated what they were doing with old. And as a result, they naturally walked slower down the hall to the other room. I want you to think about the power that your mind has in that sense. And then where this takes us from here is the ability to truly impact our day in positive and negative ways with what we are associating ourselves with and how these dominoes are falling. So I want you to think for a second, if you were to surround yourself or fill the morning with words like sunshine, balloons, flowers, family, all of a sudden, every one of those has this positive connotation in your mind, and all of a sudden you start thinking better, joyous thoughts. And so this is where the power of positive priming is. It's truly the power to change your physical state throughout your day by, again, setting up those dominoes in your life so that they can start tumbling over, because what we do first impacts what we do next. What we think first, positive or negatively, is going to impact what we do next. And I think if you think about your day and you think about, maybe if you think back to, a hard day, or you think about, like, sometimes we always say, like, bad things come in waves of 3, right? Well, we think that because something bad happens and we've primed ourselves for the next bad thing to happen. And then it happens and we're already imagining or anticipating or waiting for this bad thing to happen. The question is, if we hadn't negatively primed our brain for something else bad to happen, would it have happened? Or even if it would have happened, would we have considered it bad? Or was it just because we have already kind of set ourselves up for, a negative chain reaction because of what we've seen in our day? So that's what we are looking at here is how can we start to shape our day in a way that is going to create a positive cascade, a positive ripple effect in our life through priming. And I think there's really three areas that I want us to focus on that we can start to shape our day in a way that's going to change us for the better, not just every single day, or not just in any given day, but every single day. And the first is really around our thoughts. What kinds of things are we thinking, especially in the morning? What kinds of things are we thinking that are going to set us up for the good or the bad of the day? And I think what happens a lot of times is we wake up in the morning, and raise your hand if this is you, but you wake up in the morning, you grab your phone, and the very first thing you do is you jump on social media, or maybe if you're in business, you check your email or something like that. But we're already setting ourselves up kind of in a hole, right? We're already digging ourselves a hole. If you're a teenager and the first thing you do is grab your phone and start scrolling social media or checking text messages or whatever that may be, like the very first thing we're doing is we're putting control of our day in somebody else's hands. And especially on social media, this impacts our emotions. And so what happens is we start scrolling social media. We start seeing that other people are having good days. We start seeing that maybe other people are on vacation, other people are on the beach. We start seeing these influencers. We start seeing that they have a lot of followers, that they have a lot of likes on their posts. We check our posts that we did the day before, and maybe it didn't get as many likes as we wanted, or the boy or the girl that we liked hasn't liked our post yet. And all of a sudden we start kind of imploding internally because the good things that we expected to happen maybe didn't happen yet. And so we're priming ourselves in a negative way when we start doing that. And so the very most important thing we can do when we start our day is not check our phones. Leave your phone away. Don't check it. Spend that first 15, 20, 30 minutes with you. Spend that with your thoughts. Think of those words: sunshine, balloons, flowers, relationships, family. Think of those words. What are those positive things you can do? And maybe that's meditating, maybe that's saying a prayer, maybe that's listening to scriptures early in the morning, but really framing your thoughts in a way that is going to be conducive for growth and happiness throughout your day. Because if we rely on other people to do that through social media or through text messages, we are already setting ourselves up in a hole. And we have to dig out of that hole. And the sad reality is that a lot of times we don't dig out of that hole in a day. We go from start to finish kind of struggling, kind of unhappy, kind of feeling some of these symptoms of depression, and then we go to bed at night, and the last thing we do before we go to bed is we check our phone again, and then we go to bed and we wake up and repeat the cycle. And this is not the way that we can positively prime our life. So the very first thing, it really comes down to our thoughts. Don't check your phone first, because checking your phone is going to lead to emotions that are going to impact your thoughts in a negative way. So leave that aside. Make sure that you are starting the day the way that you want to start your day, with positive thoughts, positive meditation, and that will help set you up in a way that's going to help you grow throughout the day. The second thing is your actions. So I think about our actions, and I think about what are those small habits, those daily habits that you can do that are going to put you in a good place throughout the rest of the day. And for years, maybe the last 10, 15 years, 13 years or so, I've started my day with exercise. And some people like to exercise in the afternoons. That's great if that's you. I like to do it first thing in the morning, one, because then it's over and I feel like I can check off a box, a win for the day. But it really, as I think about it, the reason for that is because it comes down to this priming effect. I want to set the rest of my day up. I want to set that first domino, which is a win. I want to set myself up and say, hey, you woke up early, you didn't check your phone, like I said in the last one, and you completed an exercise. So the first X amount of time of my day really is about me. It's about filling my cup, doing small wins, things that are going to help me be a better person, so that I can then push down the rest of the dominoes throughout the day. And I found in my life, when I get out of that habit a little bit, or if I'm not as dedicated, or maybe I'm on a vacation or traveling and I'm not able to do that workout, it does impact the rest of the day, because it really comes down to this priming effect. I'm not setting myself up. Priming, again, is changing your physical state. And if I am not doing that through exercise, through creating these daily habits in the mornings, then I'm not setting myself up for success in the afternoon. So we want to change our thoughts. We want to make sure we're establishing positive habits in our actions. And then the last one is really around our relationships. What are the relationships that we're surrounding ourselves with in our lives? How are they helping or hurting our physical state? How are they priming us for the future so that we can be better? Because we always say that you are a result of the 5 people you hang around most. And I truly believe that. And the question is, are you hanging around people that are lifting you up, that are filling you with hope, filling you with goodness, that are stretching your brain and challenging you to think differently and challenging you to grow and think outside of the box and step out of your comfort zone? Or are you with people who are pulling you back down? If maybe you try and step out of your comfort zone and people are trying to pull you right back down into where you were because they don't want you to leave you. Are you surrounding yourself with people that have negative energy or negative thoughts or talk and gossip about other people? But I think you can start to see that if these are the types of people that we're hanging around, then we are not putting ourselves in a mental state to grow and be happy ourselves. And so one of the hardest things that you could possibly do as a teenager, as an adult, is walk away from the relationships that are hurting your heart. But I know that when you make that choice to do that, I know it can be hard in the moment, but after that initial sting, that initial pain that you feel and that challenge that you face, after that, it gets easier and easier. And it gets easier because you get better and better. And when we put ourselves in that position to get better and grow, we forget about maybe the relationships that we left behind, and we start establishing new relationships with people who are going to help us in the long run, that are going to help us be better. And so this framing concept, as I read that study that was talking about, associating yourself with these, or looking at these 5 words and then how that impacts your day, it's just such a light bulb moment for me, where what you think really does matter. And it matters because it sets you up for the next thing. And if we aren't constantly paying attention and focusing on where we're at in the moment and what we're thinking, what our thoughts are, what our actions are, and what our relationships are, then it gets really hard to control that later on. And so my advice to teenagers always, and my advice to you, is that you are in control of your life. You are absolutely in control of your life. And that starts with positive priming. That starts with priming your day and setting yourself up for success, putting yourself in a position to win every single day. And as you do that, growth becomes easier. Happiness becomes more apparent. Life gets simpler. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. We want to grow into the person that we can become. And it's really hard to do that when we're starting our day off with negative thoughts, with social media, with emails, with, actions that aren't conducive to growth, or relationships throughout our day that aren't going to help us become better. So my hope for you is that you'll find your 1 second of strength, and that you will lean in to positive priming, that you will try these things. And honestly, the simplest thing you can do is write down those words: sunshine, balloon, flowers, family. Write them down, and in the morning, look at them. And I promise that when you look at them and you start thinking about those words, they'll bring happiness and joy into your life. That's just what they do, because they are words that are associated with happy. And even if you aren't thinking it, or even if you aren't making that effort every moment to be happier in that sense, your brain automatically is going to go to work doing that. You'll have a little bit more pep in your step. You'll smile more, because you're just positively associating yourself with words that are happy and joyous and carefree. And that's what this is about. This is about becoming your best self. It's about being happier. And this positive priming of changing your physical state through your thoughts, through your actions, and through your relationships is one of the fastest ways to do that. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes training, it takes diligence, like all things that are related to growth and personal development, but it's all possible if you choose to do it. and if you choose to practice that. So I hope this helps wherever you're at. Hey, if you haven't, I would love you to take 2 seconds and just go to wherever you listen to this and leave it a rating and a review. If you're listening on Apple, it just takes 1 second to leave it a review or a rating. And if you want to leave a positive review, great. But reviews really help get this out to other people. And I have a goal this year to impact as many people as I can, and just simply giving it 5 stars is really going to help that. So thank you for that. And as always, I'll leave you the way I always do. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.